Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thanks for hanging out with me again. So today we are going to go tank by tank and show you all of my shrimp tanks. I think right now I currently have 45 that are set up. Actually, every single one of them has something in them now. One of the reasons that is because I did have quite a few that were empty. Those of you guys that may not know, my friend Jerry, you would know him as Papa Shrimp. He's in a lot of the live streams, especially Rob from Flip Aquatics. His house caught on fire. Actually, his bedroom, where he has about, I think he had like 15 tanks, caught on fire, and that room like completely burnt down. Luckily, they got him called in time and kept it from spreading to the rest of the house, but it was a rental house, so he's got to get out. And so he had a bunch of other tanks in other areas, but he had obviously no electricity. So I went over there and helped him out, gave him my generator to use, and then we went around all day and rescued all the rest of the fish that did survive. And so I have all of his shrimp and I have all of his fish in my tanks now. So as we go through some of these tanks, I'll tell you which ones are his. Okay, so let's start at this tank first. This is my Blue Bolt tank. These are cardina. I've yet to actually cull any out of this, and it's not necessarily a cull. It's kind of just, as I'm learning these cardina more, some of them just kind of need to be moved. Some of the ones that you see in here, they're not really red bolts anymore. They look more like pintos. And then there's a few that look more like red crystals, maybe some masuras. So I guess you just kind of got to go through and kind of sort them into what they are. For those of you guys who don't know what this is that they're on, this is a shrimp lolly. It's where they just take like a wooden skewer and they glue a bunch of some type of food on there. So I thought I would try, because I had a bunch of these, to try to put these out to see if it would, if I could film them a little bit easier on it. All right, let's move over to the next tank. This tank, these are red pinto cardinas. And as you can see, they're not quite as excited about this stick as the other one, or the lolly as the other one are. But then again, this tank doesn't have quite as many shrimp in it. This one only has probably 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more than that. And I know I've got this one blue one in here that I need to get out. I don't know how he ended up being in there. Okay, let's move over to the next one. These are the blue pintos, and as you can see, these are some more I need to cull. You can see a couple of these guys that have come out look just like blue bolts, so I need to move them into the blue bolt tank. But some of the other ones you can definitely tell are definitely pintos. Okay, next tank. Let's move on up here to the black King Kongs. These guys are doing really well, and you can see again in there is a blue bolt. I'm probably on maybe the 3rd, maybe the 4th generation of some of the cardinas I have now, so I'm really beginning to learn just all the different stuff that you see thrown when they have babies. All right, next one. This is just my red crystal reds. These guys I think I only had about 10 or so to start off with. Well, I started off with 100 if you ever saw the video where I imported them in, but I lost almost every single one of these. Most of these that I got here are from Flip Aquatics. Most of what you've seen is actually from Flip Aquatics. Okay, next one. These are Tangtai bees. These were just some cheaper shrimp that I bought when I first got into this. Someone that was breeding, mixing the different shrimp together and coming up with these. And then what you do is you take the patterns you like on these and you separate them, and then you try to get that pattern out of them. That's why when you look in here, you can just see absolutely all different types of patterns are showing I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this tank, to tell you the truth, or what the plan even is. There hasn't been much of a plan lately because work has been just absolutely insane. So I'm just glad everything is healthy and alive at this point. All right, in this tank, these are yellow King Kongs, and then also I had some Stardust that I put in here. I didn't have enough room when I first got these, and so I put the Stardust in here too, but I think that there's very few of those guys. The only thing I don't like about these lollies is they float, so you got to jam them in something, so that's why you kind of see it in here in the guppy grass. It's helping to hold it down. Next one, these are red safaris. I think this is the only guy that I have left. I think I started off with about 10 of them, and these are just one of the ones that hasn't done very well at all. It's just hard to understand when you get some lines that do really, really well and some that just don't do well at all when they're in the exact same type of water. Okay, this is another one of the mixtures. These are Tangtais. These are where tangerine tigers are mixed with some type of Taiwan bee. And again, you can see all kind of different patterns that are being thrown. So again, the idea is to move out some of the patterns you like and try to keep that pattern that you like going. All right, next down here, this is, I used to have round red Masura crowns in here. I lost all of these. These are some of Papa Shrimp's. These are Galaxy Pintos. These are one of the more high-end shrimp you see out there. You can see the patterns that are along the side of their shell. It's got a bunch of little dots that kind of looks like a galaxy. These guys are really, really cool. So again, I'm holding these things for him. He was telling me, well, no, you can just keep them. I'm like, no, I'm just holding them for you. And he goes, well, if they have some babies, you can keep the babies. And I'm like, all right, if they have some babies, I'll keep the babies. But these guys are just absolutely beautiful. Next tank, these I almost never see. These are Paracardina. They're blue bees. These guys are really small, and it didn't help that I didn't put any food in there. That's because they like hardly come out anyway. All right, the next one, we've got another mixture that I need to take care of. These started off as extreme King Kongs and Santa Reds. And as they're into their third or fourth generation now, you can see that we're getting lots of different, we're getting a lot of non-Santas. They're more just like, some of them look like crystal reds, some of them look like super crystal reds, and then the extreme King Kongs, you're starting to see ones that look like just regular black crystals or black King Kongs, or even some of them kind of have the shells where they look like super black crystals, whereas maybe some of the black ones bred with some of the Santas and created that. I don't know, they just kind of, the black ones kind of have a clearer shell, which is usually indicative of the super blacks. Okay, let's come up here. This is the Blue Bolt tank. These guys haven't exploded really like I thought they would. I think I started off with like 35 or 50 of them, and I think that's probably about how many I still have. I know that's not how many you see in here, but apparently a lot of them aren't terribly excited about that stick. All right, let's move over to the next one. These are just some standard crystal blacks. This is another one that I started off with, I don't know, 35 or 50 of them. And you can see quite a few babies that are in there, so these guys are doing pretty good. Not exploding quite like I had hoped. Man, that is a horrible glare. Okay, I can't get, there we go. Get up high enough. These are some of my taller tanks, so it's hard to film these. All right, the next one is Super Tigers. These guys are really cool looking, kind of got that translucent body with those tiger patterns on them. These guys are doing good. There may be 20 or so in here right now. All right, next one, this is Black Fishbone Galaxy. These are just like the reds that I showed you earlier, but these are, the black ones are probably actually blue. They just appear to be black. And you might have seen the previous video before that I had these red ones that show up in there that obviously have to be some type of cherry shrimp. I haven't seen very many of these guys. I don't know if this is the last one I have left or not. These guys are just absolutely beautiful. All right, next tank. These are fancy tigers. These are ones I started off with about 5 of them. These guys are doing really good, breeding like crazy. I haven't had these guys quite as long as I have some other ones, but they're doing really, really well. All right, we can look here at some of my, these are some of the Neo tanks that I have. I'm not really big into the Neos anymore. Most of my Neos are in a lot of my other fish tanks. I mean, tanks that actually have fish in them, not just shrimp tanks. And I'm telling you, they do so much better. The populations explode so much better than they do in these 10-gallon tanks where you have them alone. These are just some standard cherry shrimp. These are Blue Dreams. All of these are ones that I originally got from Flip Aquatics. But you know, there may be 100 in here, but I've got another tank that has a bunch of other fish in it. There's probably 500 of these in here. And then these are Bloody Marys. Again, these are some of the shrimp that I've had the absolute longest. I've probably had a little over 2 years because I just started off in Neos. Next one, these are Orange Pumpkins. Again, I have a couple of the tanks that has hundreds of these in it, whereas some of these tanks probably only have 25 or 50 maximum. This is the 3, 6, 9, 12 10-gallon tanks. We'll start down here at the bottom. These are Super Crystal Blacks. Again, you can see, because like I was talking about earlier, they kind of have more of a translucent body than like just a black King Kong or a black crystal would have. Next one that we have, these are Orange Eye Blue Tigers. See if we can zoom in close enough so you can actually see their orange eyes. I got these as an import before and I lost all of them, and then I got someone that was breeding them at home and bought those from them, and they're doing so much better. Let's scoot the light up so we can get a better, there we go, get a better shot of them. These guys are doing really good. All right, next one. This is another type of tiger. I think people refer to these as raccoons, actually. These guys are doing good. You see a couple of big buried females there. Let's scoot the light up on these. Ow, that light is hot. Very hot. Okay, next one. These are some of my favorite. These are red calicos. I kept trying to buy these for a while, but everyone seemed to be out of stock. So when I bought them as little babies, so that when they came in, they didn't look anything like this. So I kept asking the guy, I'm like, yeah, are you sure these are going to turn out to look like they're supposed to look? And he said, yeah, just give them time until they get to adults. And sure enough, they look exactly what a red calico should look like. Again, very, very cool. Next one. These are some more pintos, red pintos, but these are all the ones with fishbone patterns. This is another one that I have that's just exploded. Again, I don't know why these have done so much better when it's all the same water conditions. But these guys are just growing and breeding like crazy. And for the most part, almost all the babies are holding pretty true to that fishbone pattern. I don't think I really see anything in here that doesn't have that fishbone pattern. All right, next one. These are orange eye red ghost and orange eye black ghost. These are some more that I have that are doing really, really well. Wasn't really sure whether or not I needed to split the reds and the blacks. I just assumed when they bred you'd get some reds and some blacks, so it really wouldn't matter. I don't know. These guys are doing good. You'll see a lot of babies running around in there. Next one, these are blue steels and red steels. These guys are doing really, really well also. I struggled sometimes being able to tell the red steels from some of the red bolts, and same thing with the blues. I know they're supposed to kind of look more like metallic on the outside, but sometimes I don't really see it. But then again, when I'm wearing my contacts, I can't see up close worth crap anymore. Whereas when I take my contacts off, I can see up close perfectly. So a lot of times, like now when I'm filming these, I gotta use some kind of readers so I can actually see if I'm in focus or not. All right, these guys are doing good. Next one, these are another type of tiger. These are red tigers. You can see they've got that red stripe or the red tiger pattern on them. These are another one I haven't had a terrible long time, but you can see they're doing really, really well. All of these are all belong to Papa Shrimp. These are some more super crystal reds, more kind of like of a Santa pattern. And then in here, well, I can't remember what the heck is in here because I don't see it right now. I put the food right there, but nobody's come to it. All right, so let's go to the next one. These are red King Kongs. Oh, I remember what was in the other tank. There are two red Nanancies, some of the real higher end shrimp. Oh, here, let's go back over to this tank. There's one right back in the back. These things are pretty expensive, so he only had two of these guys. All right, there you go. There is every single one of my shrimp tanks. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you got any type of questions or comments, be sure and leave those down below. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.